At JCPenney, we haven't just changed our styles for summer.
We've become a completely different animal.
With fish.
And fowl.
Horses.
And mules.
With spots.
And stripes.
And a beautiful coat.
And while we're dressed like a peacock.
And watching quality like a hog.
It's our great values that have always made us
the leader of the pack.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Retail Archaeology. Today we're going to be taking a look at JCPenney. And we'll be taking a look at two locations in this video. The first location here is at Superstition Springs Mall in Mesa, Arizona. And you can see it's right across from a Sears. And I don't know if you noticed that red banner that said now selling appliances, but Sears has that #1 in appliances dueling banner going on with them, which I thought was pretty funny. It is interesting that JCPenney's is selling appliances now. That's definitely not something they sold when I was a kid. Here's a closer look at the sign and the exterior of the JCPenney anchor building. And I love this building. I love the brickwork. It's very 90s to me, and I hope they never change it on this building, even if somebody else moves into it, because it is just really cool looking. And coming up to the door here, we can see that big Sephora sign on the top. There is a Sephora Store located in this JCPenney's. It's one of the store inside a store concept things that JCPenney's has been playing with, and we'll see that later on in the video. But here you can see the interior of the JCPenney, and it looks just like I always remember JCPenney looking, except for one thing missing. Not a lot of customers at this location. It's very empty. Now, I came here and filmed in the early afternoon, and most of the mall was pretty busy. I was actually kind of shocked to see how unbusy this mall was, but there were definitely customers in it, but none of them were in the JCPenney or the Sears. So this JCPenney seems to be having the same issues that the Sears store at this mall is having that I documented in my Sears Retail Archaeology video. See all those 40% off sale signs? I swear they were using those same signs 25 years ago. Same font and everything. And I do love this tile, this high traffic department store tile that again is very 90s looking. And I hope they never change, because I actually love the color on this quite a bit. As a resident of Arizona, I always thought it was cool that their house brand of jeans was Arizona brand jeans. That's pretty cool. Now, JCPenney right now has a little over 1,000 locations, but as you can see, this was one of the struggling ones, and they have talked about recently closing quite a few locations.
This is the time to save 10% on every toy in stock at JCPenney, now through October 14th. And who better than myself is qualified to tell you about Toyland's big sale on toys to stay home with, toys to go out with, taxi, toys to have adventures with, toys to snooze with. Save 10% on all my friends at JCPenney. Of course, I'm not for sale. I'm a star.
This is JCPenney.
One of my favorite things about making episodes of Retail Archaeology is going back and watching some of the old commercials and stuff for a lot of these tours, and that one was just weird with that creepy ass puppet. I had to include it. Here we can see the area where they've got the portrait studio, and also I thought this was interesting. Here's the men's restroom, and then there's a sign here telling you that the women's restroom is on a different floor. I don't think I've seen that before in a department store where they put the restrooms for men and women on different floors. That was kind of weird. And over here to the left we have the offices, and I took the liberty of poking around in here, and seeing those CRT monitors made me happy. I haven't seen the CRT monitors like that in a long time, so that was cool. I think that's like their time clock entry or something. And then we had this little like seating area back here. It looks like maybe a little employee break room or something, and And there were some more offices back here, but I didn't venture further in because I could hear people talking in one of the offices just down the hall there. So I got the footage I could get, and then I ducked back out. And here's a shot of the mall entrance, and you can see that big open tile area there. They use that for the like kids club meetings and stuff for the mall. So it looks kind of weird when it's open and there's nothing going on there. And here's the second story, and it's really interesting that this JCPenney is struggling when it's right across from the food court. The food court in this mall is on like a second story right across from the entrance. So you would think that would draw a lot of traffic in, but as you can see here, once again, the store is pretty empty. Well, that's kind of a mess. So many sale signs. It's like an ocean of sale signs. I don't think JCPenney's realizes that if everything's on sale, then really nothing's on sale. Walking through this section reminded me of doing back-to-school shopping in the early 90s. We did a lot of that here when I was a kid. The boys husky section, that would have been my section back in 1992. All this product on sale and nicely laid out, and nobody here to buy it. Which again, I filmed this in the early afternoon, so you would think there would be shoppers here, and there were some shoppers in the mall, but none, unfortunately, in this JCPenney. And this is a JCPenney that I grew up going to, this specific location, so it kind of sucks to see it like this, because like I said, I had a lot of memories of coming here to buy shoes and back to school clothes and all kinds of stuff. And it was always very busy when we came here. Here's a quick peek into the back room. I was going to sneak in there, but I could hear people talking back there too, so I probably wouldn't have gotten very far. But maybe that's another video I should do one day, is places in the mall you're not supposed to go. I can't decide which is less flattering sounding, girls plus or boys husky.
Look at you, you're all the rage.
Halston 3.
Look at you, look how you've changed.
From head to toe.
Just look at you, and JCPenney's changing too.
The Halston 3 collection. Because there's nothing more beautiful than a confident woman.
You're looking smarter than ever, JCPenney.
And there's another weird 80s commercial. Some creepy dude just taking pictures of a girl, but she seems to be okay with it. I'm not going to pretend to understand a lot of commercials from the 80s. The clearance section appears to be clear. And here we've got the shoe section. And speaking of shoes, if you haven't had a chance to check out my last episode of Retail Archaeology, which was on Payless Shoe Source, you should definitely check that out. And also as a quick update from that episode, the shoes that I bought there, I've been wearing the 2 pairs for about 2 weeks now, and they haven't fallen apart yet, so that's a plus. Now when we get to this section of the store, this is an area that definitely has that time capsule feel to it, because I feel like the displays, the racks, the products on the displays, like the hats, the jewelry, the sunglasses, the purses, all of this stuff is the same stuff that was here 25 years ago, I swear. Seriously, I remember those hats being popular in '91. Now back there in the distance, that black and white striped structure, that's the Sephora Store within JCPenney. And here's a closer look at the Sephora, and that was actually one area where there were some customers, was inside that little Sephora store. What is it with clearance sections being a mess? Why do people think they can just trash it and walk away? I mean, this looks terrible. And also, does anybody actually wear any of this jewelry anymore? This goes back to what I was saying about the same stuff being here 25 years ago. I feel like this is all the same costume jewelry that was here when I was a kid, and I don't remember a lot of people buying this stuff back then, and there's certainly nobody here buying it now. Now that we've taken a look at a JCPenney store that's an anchor at a mall, let's take a look at a different type of location. We'll be looking at a JCPenney that's in a strip mall next.
JCPenney, we've changed clothes.
From head to toe,
Top to bottom.
collar to cuff.
We've changed looks. We've changed
We've changed patterns and changed colors. We've gotten lighter and brighter.
We've changed. JCPenney.
Younger,
And bolder.
smaller,
And taller.
we collected more classics, added more accessories, and broadened the basics.
We've changed our fabrics and changed our footwear.
Our brands have a brand new look.
We've added sports shirts
To sport shirts,
underwear.
to underwear. And while we may have changed from our hats to our heels,
One thing remains the same.
our great values.
And great values are what make us.
Now this JCPenney is not attached to a mall. It's located in Ahwatukee, Arizona, and pretty much most JCPenneys that I've gone to have been attached to malls. I don't see a lot of these standalone ones, so this is kind of cool. Now I also like this JCPenney company established in 1902 plaque that they had here, reminding you that JCPenney has been around for over 100 years. Now, I wasn't able to get as much footage of this location because this location was actually busy. There were quite a few customers here, and that's something I wanted to show because not every JCPenney store is hurting. I had mentioned that JCPenney recently announced they were going to close a bunch of stores, but they announced after that they're actually going to hold back on some of those plans because they are seeing increased business and things are starting to improve. So that's a good thing, and this store shows that. Now another interesting thing is this store was remodeled not too long ago, but it seems like they only remodeled the back half. The front half, where all the customers were a lot of the old fixtures and tile and carpet. and that's where all the clothes are and stuff. But the back half, where like the appliances are and the luggage and the home goods, that all has new flooring and has been remodeled, but it was empty. So most of the footage I actually got was of the back half of the store. So kind of interesting that shoppers were for some reason preferring to shop in the older section. I want these lights.
It's the perfect combination. It's a feeling that is right. It's that certain situation that only you can bring to life.
You feel great about yourself, and it shows. From the casual confidence of Hunt Club to the carefree style of Jacqueline Farrar. And it's all at today's JCPenney.
It's JCPenney, where fashion comes to life.
Here's the back half of the store, the remodeled part. Like I said, this is where they have all their home goods and small appliances and that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you just saw that flash there, but that's also where the portrait studio was, and I was able to see the flash every now and again. Now, like I mentioned, the back half of the store had been remodeled. So this here, this tile, this white tile is the older tile, and it runs across the middle and all through the front of the store with the older high traffic carpet. But then on the other side of it, you'll see there's kind of that polished concrete look. That's what they did in the back half. And then there's like that faux hardwood floor kind of sectioning off each of the sections. Here we have the bed linens and stuff. And then the appliances. This is the new Sears appliance section. Now, way back in the past, Sears sold appliances, but they got out of that business. And now they've recently gotten back into it again. And from what I've heard, it's actually doing okay for them. Here's the luggage, and I like the luggage cart motif they got going on here for the luggage. That's nice, but there weren't really any other customers back here to appreciate it. And I also found another mess of a clearance section back here, and this one is pretty bad. There's stuff all over the floor, packaging's ripped open. Again, I don't know what it is and why people start to act like animals when it comes to clearance sections, but this is a mess. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the commercials featured in this episode mention things about JCPenney changing and things are new at JCPenney. Well, JCPenney's kind of been an ever-evolving company, and I think that's been a good thing, because even though they are suffering like a lot of other retailers right now, I don't think they're in as dire a spot as Sears is. Yes, some JCPenney stores are going to have to close, but I don't think we'll be seeing the company as a whole go anywhere anytime soon. Now let's take a look at some viewer picks that were sent into the Retail Archaeology social media accounts. Following us on social media is the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel, and if you have some interesting pictures, please send them in and I'll feature them at the end of the episodes. And I had to share this when I saw that Fiesta Mall recently became a meme. Also, if you like the music in this episode, be sure to visit the links down in the description below to download this album and for more information on Heiny House Entertainment. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and you can also check out the playlist of previous episodes I've got here. And also, there's a link to the really rad music video for the song Window Shopping that was featured in this video. And as always, thanks again so very much for watching.